Some places disappear from history, not because they were destroyed, but because someone wanted them to be forgotten. Hidden deep within an ancient forest stood a church that time itself seemed to abandon. For nearly a century, St. Ashford Church remained untouched. Nature slowly reclaimed its walls. Moss covered its stones, and silence became its only visitor. But beneath those crumbling foundations, a secret waited patiently. Most people avoided the church. They believed disturbing stories surrounded it, strange lights, unexplained sounds, and whispers of something hidden below. Daniel Carter wasn't searching for ghosts. He was searching for answers. Armed with nothing more than an old map, a flashlight, and an unshakable curiosity, Daniel stepped toward the forgotten church. He believed every mystery had a logical explanation. He was about to discover one that challenged everything he thought he knew. As the heavy wooden doors slowly opened, decades of dust filled the air. Sunlight poured through broken stained glass windows, revealing a sanctuary frozen in time. Every step echoed through the abandoned silence. Broken pews, fallen beams, and cracked stone floors told the story of a place long forgotten. Yet something didn't feel abandoned. The silence felt different, as if the church itself was waiting for someone to uncover its hidden past. Beneath the ancient altar, Daniel noticed one stone unlike all the others. Its surface was smoother, and its edges were too perfect to be natural. Curiosity led him closer as he carefully brushed away decades of dust. As the dust disappeared beneath his hand, an unfamiliar symbol slowly emerged. Hidden beneath centuries of silence was a rusted iron ring. Daniel hesitated for only a moment before gripping it tightly. Then he pulled, and everything changed. Stone scraped against stone as a deep echo rolled through the church. Slowly, the floor beneath the altar opened, revealing a staircase that disappeared into darkness. It was a passage no one had seen for generations. Most people would have turned back. Daniel didn't. Taking one careful step at a time, he descended into the unknown, guided only by the light of his flashlight. Whatever waited below had remained hidden for decades, and he was determined to uncover the truth. The staircase seemed endless, each step carrying Daniel farther away from the world above. The beam from his flashlight swept across damp stone walls scarred by time. Thick spider webs stretched across the passage, untouched for decades. Then something unusual caught his attention. Strange symbols had been carved into the walls, symbols unlike anything he had ever seen before. Daniel knelt to study the carvings more closely. The patterns weren't random. Every line appeared deliberate, almost as if they were meant to guide someone through the tunnel. As he brushed away the dust, more symbols appeared, each one leading deeper underground. Whoever created this place had left a trail behind, and Daniel couldn't ignore it. The tunnel widened as he continued forward. Rusted iron torch holders lined the walls, silently reminding him that people had once walked these passages long before electricity existed. Moments later, his flashlight revealed an old lantern lying on the ground. Though covered in dust and cobwebs, it looked as if it had been left there intentionally, waiting for someone to find it. As Daniel moved farther into the tunnel, the silence became almost unbearable. Every footstep echoed through the darkness before disappearing into the distance. Suddenly, faded murals began to emerge along the walls. They depicted hooded figures carrying lanterns through underground passages, gathering around mysterious circular symbols. It was clear that this tunnel had served a purpose far greater than simply connecting rooms beneath the church. Daniel carefully compared the murals with the symbol he had discovered beneath the altar. They matched perfectly. He quickly sketched the markings into his notebook, determined not to overlook a single detail. But before he could continue, a faint sound drifted through the darkness ahead. It was impossible to tell what had caused it, yet it was enough to make him stop in his tracks. Small stones suddenly fell from the ceiling, followed by a low rumble that echoed through the passage. Daniel raised his flashlight, scanning every corner of the tunnel. For several long seconds, nothing moved. Then the narrow passage slowly opened into a vast underground chamber. Hidden beneath the abandoned church was something far larger than anyone could have imagined. As Daniel stepped inside, the beam from his flashlight disappeared into the enormous chamber. Massive stone pillars rose from the floor to support the ceiling high above. while centuries of dust covered everything in sight. It was impossible to believe that such a place could exist beneath a forgotten church. Yet standing there, Daniel realized this was only the beginning. Ancient paintings stretched across the chamber walls, preserved by the darkness for generations. They showed hooded figures carrying glowing lanterns toward an enormous stone doorway covered with unfamiliar symbols. Daniel followed the murals with his flashlight until they ended at the very doorway they seemed to describe. Whoever painted them wanted future visitors to find this exact place. Carefully brushing away the dust, Daniel uncovered more intricate carvings surrounding the doorway. They matched every symbol he had seen since entering the church. Nothing here appeared accidental. As he examined the stone more closely, his flashlight revealed a narrow passage branching away into complete darkness. The deeper he looked, the more questions the tunnel seemed to ask. At the center of the doorway sat a large circular stone mechanism. Daniel hesitated before placing both hands against its weathered surface. Slowly, he began to turn it. A deep grinding sound echoed throughout the chamber as the ancient mechanism came back to life for the first time in centuries. Somewhere beyond the stone wall, something had just awakened. As the ancient mechanism completed its final turn, the entire chamber trembled beneath Daniel's feet. Dust drifted from the ceiling as cracks spread across the massive stone doorway. Then, with a slow, grinding roar, the door began to move. For the first time in centuries, a forgotten chamber was opening once again. Daniel tightened his grip on the flashlight and stepped closer. Beyond the doorway lay a room unlike anything he had imagined. Stone shelves lined the walls from floor to ceiling, each holding rows of clay jars sealed with hardened wax. Every object had remained exactly where it had been left, protected by darkness and time. It didn't look like a treasure vault. It looked like a place where history itself had been carefully preserved. As Daniel explored the chamber, his light settled on several weathered wooden chests resting against the far wall. Their iron locks had long since rusted away. He carefully opened one of them, expecting to find coins or precious artifacts. Instead, he discovered neatly wrapped scrolls, each protected inside faded cloth that had somehow survived the passing centuries. One scroll immediately caught his attention. Slowly unrolling the fragile parchment, Daniel uncovered an elaborate map of underground passages stretching far beyond the church. Some tunnels ended abruptly, while others disappeared into places that were never identified. In one corner of the map, a single symbol had been marked more boldly than all the others. It pointed toward a location that had yet to be explored. Following the map, Daniel entered another narrow passage hidden behind the chamber. The walls grew tighter around him, and the air felt noticeably colder. Strange handprints appeared along the stone, carved one after another as though countless people had once walked this exact route. Every step seemed to pull him deeper into a mystery that refused to reveal its full story. The tunnel continued without end. Daniel paused several times to compare the carvings with the symbols in his notebook, and each comparison revealed another connection. Nothing underground had been placed by chance. Every carving, every corridor, and every hidden room appeared to be part of a carefully planned design that had survived long after those who created it had disappeared. Then the passage came to an abrupt stop. An old iron gate stood silently in front of him, its chains hanging loosely after years of decay. Daniel pushed against it with caution. The rusted hinges groaned loudly, echoing through the tunnel as the gate slowly swung open. Beyond it, another corridor waited in the complete darkness. Crossing through the gate, Daniel entered a perfectly circular chamber, hidden deep beneath the church. Ancient stone benches surrounded the room, all facing a single pedestal standing in the center. It was unlike anything he had seen before. Whatever had taken place here had clearly been deliberate, and every detail suggested this room had once held great importance. Resting upon the pedestal was a beautifully carved stone box. Daniel brushed away the dust before carefully lifting its heavy lid. Inside, he found a bronze key and a tightly sealed parchment. The craftsmanship was extraordinary, and the key itself seemed untouched by time. Choosing not to disturb the parchment, he carefully picked up the key, unaware that his decision had just activated something hidden beneath the floor. A sharp click echoed through the chamber. Moments later, the ground began to tremble once again. Dust poured from the ceiling as another concealed stone doorway slowly opened behind him. Daniel turned in disbelief, raising his flashlight toward the darkness beyond. Whatever awaited on the other side had remained hidden for centuries, and the greatest secret beneath St. Ashford Church was finally about to reveal itself. Daniel stepped slowly through the newly opened doorway, his flashlight cutting through the darkness ahead. The chamber beyond was unlike any of the others. There were no murals, no shelves, and no scattered artifacts. At its center stood a massive circular stone table, engraved with the same symbols he had followed since entering the church. Carefully placed on the table was a weathered journal, protected beneath a layer of thick glass. Its pages had yellowed with age, but the writing remained remarkably clear. As Daniel turned to the final entry, one sentence immediately caught his attention. "If these words are being read, the tunnel has been opened again." He froze. The message hadn't been written for history. It had been written for whoever eventually found this place. Daniel continued reading, hoping to learn who had built the underground complex and why it had been hidden for so long. But the final pages were missing, leaving the story unfinished. Before he could search further, another deep rumble echoed through the chamber. Dust poured from the ceiling as the ancient structure began to shift around him. Realizing the tunnel might collapse, Daniel carefully took a few photographs of the journal, left every artifact exactly where he had found it, and made his way back toward the surface. Moments after he escaped the church, part of the underground passage gave way, sealing the deepest chamber once again. When investigators later searched beneath St. Ashford Church, they found only collapsed stone and empty passageways. There was no journal, no hidden chamber, no evidence to explain what Daniel had seen. Perhaps time had erased the truth, or perhaps some secrets are never meant to be uncovered. This was only one story. How many others are still waiting beneath the places we've forgotten?